Okay, what I've done now is I've let the whole thing cool off overnight, and now it's the next day. I've taken 5 cups of the juice and put it in this pot here. I'm supposed to add the juice of 1 lemon, which is that in there, and a package of one of these here fruit pectins, 1 whole package of that. Got that put in there. Now we stir this around. Supposed to let this come up to a boil. I've got this set on about 6 here now, which is medium high. So once this comes up to a boil, I'll bring it back and show you the next step. Okay, this here juice with the pectin in it and the juice of 1 lemon has come to a boil now. So now I'm supposed to add my 5 cups of sugar and bring this back to a boil on medium high. And after it's come to a boil, I'm supposed to turn it down to a simmer and let it cook for 15 minutes. So you can see I've already got my pot of jars sterilizing here in boiling water. It's not to a boil yet. Got my rings and lids in a pot back there. And I'm just about ready to make some jelly here. So we'll get this up to a boil, and we'll after it's come to a boil and then simmered for 15 minutes, I'll bring you back to the next step. Okay folks, I've switched this around a little bit here. Put my pot with my jars in it over here. Being that I'm left-handed, I always got to work to my left. So anyhow, this has boiled for 15 minutes. I just now shut it down. So now we take our jars out of the boiling hot water. Well, let me get the other funnel out of here first. Figured as long as I'm sterilizing jars, I might as well sterilize that right along with it. So let's get some jars out of here. I'm using 1/2 pint jars. And when I get all these jars out of here, I'll come back and show you what's next here. Okay, we've got all the jars taken out of the hot water, or out of the boiling water. And now it's just a matter of filling these things up to 1/4 of an inch from the top. Oh, and by the way, I did take a 1/2 teaspoon of butter and put in this mixture here too. This is supposed to keep down on the foam. So let me get all these jars filled up here, and then I'll bring it back to show you the next step. Okay, what I've done is I've filled all my jars to within about 1/4 of an inch from the top. Took a damp towel, wiped the outsides of the rings, or of the threads, and the very top of edge of the jar. And then I took my lids and rings out of the steaming hot water. You don't want it boiling. because you don't want to melt that rubber ring around there. You just want to soften it up. But I took my lids and rings out of the out of the steaming water and put those on there, and just finger tight on the lids. And now it's just a matter of putting these in my hot water here again and processing these things. And by the way, this is just a big old stock pot, but I did take one of these things here that fits down in a canner, and I put that down in the bottom of this thing so that the jars do not touch the bottom of the pot, because you don't want this, you don't want the glass sitting right on the bottom of the pot, otherwise you're liable to break the jars. So I'll get these all loaded in here and bring this up to a boil again. And once it's up to a boil, I'll process these things for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll shut them down and pull these things out of here, and we will be done. I'll show you here in a little bit. Once I pull them out, then I'll show you again here. Okay, we're back. This thing has processed for about 10 minutes, and we'll go ahead and take the lid off of there. You may want to make sure you turn that lid away from you, because that steam that's coming out of there is pretty darn hot. So we'll set that aside, and we'll come in here and we'll take our jars out now. Man, look at that golden deliciousness. Ooh, this is going to be some good jelly. We'll just set these on a towel over here and keep a little distance between them so that they'll cool off real nice and even. Ah, they're popping already. Uh-oh. Got a jar that tipped over in there. But we'll get it out of there. It's no big deal. There it is. Haha. Gotcha. So there we have it, folks. Just going to let these sit and cool down and let them seal. I'm not going to touch them until they've thoroughly cooled off, which would probably be a good, well, for half pint size, good 8 to 10, 12 hours. I'll just let them sit until tomorrow. They're not in my way. But there you have it. Out of 5 cups of juice, added 5 cups of sugar. So that added the volume up. And each one of these half pints is a cup. So the volume of 5 cups of sugar, that boosted it up to 7 half pints, or 7 cups. So now I've just got the rest of the juice to process into jelly, and we'll be all set. Okay, thank you, folks.